How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having an excellent day. Today we are taking a look at how you can get, and how I was able to get, over 24,000 points in this last raid weekend. So let's take a look at how I was able to do it. Have some nice bases for you today. First on the list is a Barbarian Camp 2-shot. Have the very easy to hit and very weak basic layout. So here we are just trying to gain deployment to this left hand side, and of course we are trying to use the air version for the first and the second attack. In case you don't know, the Barbarian Camp is very weak to air attacks. The only real defenses it has are the air bombs, and then of course the rocket artillery. But there are a lot of ground targeting defenses. So sometimes the ground attacks are kind of iffy and don't get too much value. You can still use ground, of course, but just a little bit harder. So here I opt to use the air. And now I'm trying to figure out where to drop the graveyards. Because we want to try and distract the air bombs, and we want to eventually get down the rocket artillery. So we drop down one on the rocket artillery, and then the other two on the other two air bombs. This one is very exposed air bombs, so as soon as that air bombs is distracted by something, we'll send in 2 packs of 2 rocket balloons to snipe it down real quick. So we sent 1 pack on the spear thrower, and then 2 packs on the air bombs, and it went down very quickly. So now we're trying to send in 2 packs to the giant cannon, so that hopefully they go downward. They unfortunately do not, so that rapid rocket is doing a lot of damage. But we do still have a couple packs of balloons left. We are able to take down both of the other air bombs, which is huge. If you're able to take down all the air bombs in an attack, for a Barbarian Camp, it is insanely beneficial. Because this last attack is going to be a cakewalk. So we put the other graveyards in pretty deep, because we know that that's where we want all the air skeletons for distractions. Got the one Barbarian working up the right side so that we can potentially sneak in some balloons on this right hand side to try and get to these air defenses. So now we are deploying the rocket balloons, trying to do 1 pack per air targeting defense. So we've got a couple spear throwers here, and then we've got some rapid rockets. Now that the deployment zone has opened up on that left hand side, we're able to drop them up pretty high so we can get access to that air defense. We have 3 packs of balloons left, and so we might as well just send them all on the remaining Teslas. There is not a whole lot left for this base. So yeah, whenever you see a Barbarian Camp worth under 9,000 points, I highly recommend using this strategy, especially if you have the level 4 rocket balloons. It's a little tricky with the level 3 balloons, just be warned. And then once the Barbarian Camp starts getting around, I think it's the 9,200, 9,500 area for Capital Peak level 8. If the air bombs are upgraded, and the rocket artillery is, and the air defenses are upgraded as well, it gets pretty scary. So you may want to plan it out. Next up, we're taking a look at my favorite base to hit, which is the Builder's Workshop. I've got a super weak Builder's Workshop here, and it is the basic layout. However, I do not feel like trying to do the one-shot. For me, I just wanted to do something super easy, so I went with the infamous graveyard spam strategy. Now, if the graveyards get maybe 1 or 2 more nerfs, it might be worth it to try out some other strategies. But here we are just deploying the 2 skeletons, or the 2 graveyards, over the blast bow, so that takes that out. And then the last one we dropped over the cannon. Because even with like all of our troops that we're trying to use down here, and some that split towards the middle, there's no splash damage besides that blast bow on the basic layout. So as soon as you take out the blast bow, your skeletons are home free. We have one more cannon causing a little bit of issues, but that's alright. Once that goes down, this last wizard is going to have free reign to destroy the crushers. So now we're just focusing on this other group. Just one pack of skeletons and one super wizard, but that quickly perishes to a bomb. And as you can see, we'll speed it up. Another zap trap hits the super wizard, and the skeletons, they just get a couple more trash buildings, but sets up the base very nicely for a second attack. So now we're finishing up with a very easy cleanup with graveyard spam strategy, if I can say my words correctly. So we're coming in from the top side. The goal is to try and send everything down and then have some skeleton spawn and try and distract and maybe even take out some of the defenses on the right corner of the base. We're still holding on to a couple of rams just for when the super wizards start to overtake the giants, because they are a little bit faster. Then we're also trying to break down some of the walls to make some more accessible paths for all the units. You can see that the giant cannon is focusing on all of the skeletons, and a massive amount of them go flying, but none of the super wizards got hit, which is excellent. So now there's just the last few defenses left, and the whole army of ground skeletons coming in from the previous graveyards on the first attack that were a little bit further away. And we get a very nice 3-star and 153 bonus loot. So last but not least, we are taking a look at a capital peak hit. And we did a couple sort of in the middle. We're trying to clean up this base, but as you can see, there's still 9,000 loot still available. So the first attack from my clanmate, he pretty much got all of the trash building out of the way. So while it may seem like half the base is destroyed percentage-wise, I believe at 95, maybe even 100% of the defenses were still remaining. So good for us, we can get a lot of points, but kind of bad because we can't clean up the 50% in 2 more attacks. It almost always takes 1 attack to get the district hall, or not the district hall, but the capital hall taken down. But we're going in with what I like to use for the capital peaks, which is the sneaky archers and the rams. With the couple of graveyard nerfs, I feel like it's just too unpredictable on the capital peak. Sometimes you can do it in 3 shots, but sometimes you only get like 20% from a single hit using the graveyard spam strategy, so I don't know. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you can almost always 3-shot a capital peak with the sneaky archers and the rams. Pretty much the idea is to try and use the rages on the first attack to get to the district or the capital hall, and then use the second attack to take out the capital hall, and then set up for the third and final attack with either hogs or rocket balloons. Those are typically the 2 best ones to use. But it is a time-consuming endeavor to get to the corner capital halls. It's not well defended, so once we get there, a P.E.K.K.A. with a rage spell will very easily be able to take it out. And all we have to do is take out the Inferno, and that will allow the P.E.K.K.A. to go ham. So we've got just a few more left. trying to drop them one at a time so not too many archers die to bombs or to splash damage for that matter. Got 2 more packs, a couple more seconds remaining. So drop 1 down to take out the blast bow, and then 1 to try and chip away at the giant cannon. But we're able to get 3,090 from that 1 attack. So now we are sacrificing some rams and some archers for the P.E.K.K.A. But we do drop the rage for the capital hall. Then we also have a second rage down to try and help take out the inferno and maybe even speed up the process to get towards the rocket artillery. You have to be very careful when using the sneaky archers against the capital hall. Sometimes if the troops don't die fast enough, the hall will launch its bolt. And you have to wait for that bolt to land, otherwise it will one-shot your archers, which is always unfortunate. So here we send in the P.E.K.K.A. Now the P.E.K.K.A. gets to go ham. In case you didn't know, the capital hall will always target the unit with the most hit points. So if you are able to use a P.E.K.K.A. or some other tanking troop, maybe a giant, it will shield your archers as long as they're in a different spot. So now we're just trying to get as much value as we can. P.E.K.K.A. goes down, but that 1 pack of archers was able to take out the giant cannon while it was distracted, which is perfect. So now we're just trying to get as many defenses down as possible to try and get the most amount of points as possible. So I believe we're trying to get close to the rocket artillery. Maybe not. Can't remember. Yes, we are. Because yeah, the rocket artillery is worth the most amount of points. Most of your basic defenses are, I believe, 100 to 150. Whereas most of your big defenses are about like 400 to 500. If I know my math. Don't quote me on that, but that seems to be the average. So it's always good to take out those big defenses whenever you can. And then I believe trash buildings are worth only like 10 points each, so worth almost nothing. But we're able to get 4,520 from that final attack. And that's how I was able to get just over 24,000, almost 24,750, 3/4 of the way to 25,000. So hopefully these attacks were able to help you out. I know 2 of them were on the basic layout of the Barbarian Camp and the Builder's Workshop, which is nice. So let me know how you're doing in your raid weekend. Hoping these attacks and showcasings help you out. If you want to help me out, you are more than welcome to subscribe and hit the like button. And if you want to see more of my content, there should be a couple more videos on the screen now. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.